G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm back. We had some exciting news. I had my little baby girl on the 23rd of July. So yeah, really exciting times for me. It's been an unbelievable week and a half or so. Just there's no feeling to describe it really. I'm sure a lot of you guys have kids as well. And if you don't, it's just the best feeling ever. She's such an angel. I know the first couple of weeks are pretty easy generally. So I'm waiting for the wake up call, but yeah, that's unbelievable experience. But I'm back on YouTube now. Things have settled down a little bit. We were in hospital for 5-6 days or so in the end because we went private, which was good. So awesome experience there. But yeah, I won't be back to posting daily videos. It's a little bit more on my plate than I had a couple of weeks back. But yeah, try to be back as much as possible now. Maybe 2, 3, 4 videos a week. We'll see if I can get some recaps out the way. But it's late in the season anyway, so it's not as important to get daily videos out. Most of us are running out of trades. If not, there's just not too much niche stuff to talk about at this stage. But yeah, I'm back. That's about it from me. When I left, my last video was in round 20, so I was ranked 650th. Had a pretty decent couple of weeks. I had 8 trades available then. Last week, I went pretty well, 6,060th overall for the week. Pushed me up to 599th, so 51 rank gains there, just popped the ton, which was good. I used 3 trades there, which I'll get into in a little bit. And then pretty good round this week as well. The round 22 rank is awesome at 463rd. I actually didn't realize it was that high. That's really good. Pushed me into 365th overall. One sec, my cat is just being really loud. Yeah, so a nice little rank gain there. Really stoked with that. I have put myself in a bit of a predicament though. Every player I needed to do well pretty much did until today. Obviously, it was a very mixed day. I had Adam Dewey getting 86, which is awesome. He's like 15% owned, which is really good. Tarpanay's like less than 50% now. Preston about 50. Watson and Crichton both about 50 as well. So that went really well. I think Fermor's about the same as well. And then all the other guys are owned by 80, 90, 100% of teams pretty much. Did captain Cleary over May. I also captained Haas over May last week, and that one didn't work out as well. And Cleary as well. I sort of thought he had the week off. He was rested the week before, I think, and then had a bye. Can't remember which order that was, but he had 2 weeks off. I thought he'd be fresh. I guess you could have said the same for Cleary. It was between those two, really. I didn't really have any intention of captaining May, which I talked about before I left, I think. That was probably the last week against the Titans that I would be captaining him, and then I'd probably pivot. So it didn't work out that week. Probably could have, would have got an extra 20 points, but it was always Haas for me, really. And then this week, did captain Cleary. He was on, 47 at halftime, I think, and then only pushed up to 61, even with the field goal. But that was a crazy game in itself. Everything sort of went well. Including today. Today went very well with the Adam Dewey stuff. But I did have to force a trade to get Galvin in just to field 17 this week. And then Drinkwater was pretty rubbish. It was a very wet weather weekend, so outside backs aren't going to do too well. So I wasn't really expecting the world from Drinkwater, but it was annoying because all the Sharks players that are highly owned did really well. So it could have been an awesome round. I probably would have been top 100, top 200, but I'm not going to complain about anything in what happened this week. But I did put myself in a little bit of a pickle by not trading Hughes. Honestly, I haven't been paying too much attention to fantasy over the last 2 weeks, obviously, given we had a kid. But I did consider going Hughes to Isaiah Katoa. I didn't really think about it too much, but he was probably the one. It's a half for half. That's probably who I'll end up doing. The Storm played on Thursday night, so they were the first game of the week, which kind of screwed me over royally. So I thought I could use Hughes as a looper this week instead of going to Isaiah Katoa, because if I did make that trade, I would have only been able to play one of Tarpanay, Drinkwater, or Humphreys. And I was like, is it really that much beneficial? I probably would have played Tarpanay, and in the end, he was the first who played and scored well, so I would have taken his score. But Humphreys and Drinkwater probably projected about a 50 each, so I didn't really want to not play both of them. I was happy to not play one of them, and obviously knowing Drinkwater got a 23, that would have been fine. But I just thought there wasn't much merit in a trade this week. Obviously Hughes is out for the season, but it just wasn't very beneficial to me this week, and maybe an extra option comes up next week. If Katoa were to get injured this week, it would have been a waste of a trade. So I didn't mind the feeling of delaying a trade this week and then just look to pivot next week to maybe a Hudson Young or Blake Brayley instead if they were crushing it. But then Payne Haas got ruled out with illness like 20 minutes after the Storm game, which is so annoying because if it was before, then I would have made the trade, obviously. And then also that same night, well, the Friday night, the Broncos played that Friday night as well, but he was ruled out on Thursday. But yeah, an hour before the game, we find out Humphries has delayed concussion symptoms and he's out as well. So I was down to 16 when I could have had 17 if I just went Hughes to Katoa. It was just the fixtures that screwed me over there. I mean, obviously, like a Hughes to Katoa trade is pretty reasonable. Like I probably should have just done that anyway. But yeah, there was some reason as to why I didn't, and just the fixture being on a Thursday for the Storm did make it tricky for me, and I did have to force a trade. So really, my only trade I could have made was Brayley to someone about 540k or so. I did consider Willison quite heavily. Oh my, these cats, man! I have to have all the pets in the room right now because my kid's sleeping, but. Bloody hell, they are making a ruckus. I did consider Willison with Haas out. I thought he'd have a better game. Bloody hell. But it was only like this week. Haas is back next week in all likelihood. So I just wanted someone a bit more long-term in Lockie Galvin, who I project to average about 50 moving forward, whereas Willison was like a 1 week rental sort of thing in terms of his better scores. And he ended up getting injured. So that was lucky. Well, not lucky that he got injured, but lucky I avoided that. There was like some part of me that thought Ethan King might end up just playing, even as 18th man, if like there was an injury or something. So I wanted to wait for his game to be finished on Saturday. He ended up not playing, so I had to make a trade unless I just wanted to bite the bullet and play with 16. But yeah, brought in Lockie Galvin for Brayley. Don't love it because I know, like I only have 4 trades left now, and I know I need to trade Hughes and Herbie, and I knew the Herbie one before making this trade. So yeah, I'm essentially down to 2 trades. Didn't love the fact I'm trading Brayley for Galvin. In my head, Galvin is like projected at 50. So yeah, I knew probably wouldn't be 50 today because of the wet weather, but it was also against the Tigers and yeah, pretty big game for him. And he just didn't show out at all. 21. If I knew he was going to get a 21, I wouldn't have done the trade, obviously, but can't help that. 21 is terrible, but it is what it is. The other thought process was, I'm going to have 17 players next week. So Adam Dewey and Terrell Mayer on the bye. Yo is in all likelihood going to be out. It's looking at 1 to 3 weeks. So I'm not going to trade him unless I have to, but like he's not playing next week. So that's 3 gone. And then Ethan King is probably not playing as well. So I'm down to 17 already. So I would have had to play Brayley, which I don't mind, but I project him about like a 35-ish now. And I project Galvin as a 50. So I thought Galvin would score 50 today. And then if he scores a 50 over Brayley's 35 next week, it's a 65-point swing. So that's essentially trading in a keeper for 1 week. But also, if I ever have to play Brayley or Galvin again, it's an extra 15 points each time. So it probably projects it about an 80, 95 point better like from that trade. Didn't work out. He only got a 21. It's not a disaster yet. It will depend on injuries moving forward to my teams if I can navigate with only 2 trades left. And also how Galvin goes against Brayley in the weeks I play him. So if Galvin comes out and scores a 50 next week and Brayley scores a 10, then I've got that 40 points back anyway. So it's fine. Like I'm not in love with it, but it was one that I thought I had to do. And I just don't like playing with 16 when I have trades in the bank. So yeah, we'll see how that goes moving forward. Don't love it, but it is what it is at this stage. Hughes and what's his name? Herbie will both be gone next week. I was potentially going to delay the Hughes trade again, or even the Herbie trade, just because I don't need the money at all. Like even though he's 870k, I don't need his money to get the team I want, and I have an 18th, 19th, 20th man that I'm comfortable with. But the fact I can only get to 17 by trading them both next week means they're both out. So I don't know who I'm going to trade them for at this stage. Blake Brayley looks good. I don't know whether I love him as an option. Hudson Young is probably one to come in. I would have loved to hold out for Latrell Mitchell, which is why I didn't want to trade Hughes, because apparently he's back in 1 to 2 weeks now, and I project him at about a 65. I don't know if he scores 65 given his coming back from an injury, but yeah, I do want him in my team if I can. But yeah, it's probably between Hudson Young and Isaiah Katoa. Like they're probably the 2 that come in realistically. I am excited by Jackson Ford, and he was actually picked up by 2.5% of people this week, but his minutes are really good. I think he's a really standout option. Pat Carrigan, also a consideration. He got a 55. If Haas isn't 100%, he probably gets extra minutes, and I don't think they rest anyone. And that's about as far as the list goes. Like, there's no one else I'm too excited by. So I'll have the money to do whatever I want with cash in the bank, and then just use my 2 trades in the next 5 rounds when the injuries hit. So yeah, I don't think I'll be able to navigate with 2 trades. Like, it is dangerous, like dangerously low, but it's about par. Like, I think the par is 3.7 trades. I have 4, but I'll be using 2, and most people won't be next week. Everyone will use 1 on Herbie, but yeah, I'll be just slightly below par. But I think my team construction is really good. I do have my 18th to 20th men be. I think it'll be Galvin, Humphreys, and Drinkwater, because I'm quite comfortable playing Dewey even before today in my rotation every week. And the fact is, a centre is actually really good because I do not have a backup centre apart from Kiraz. So yeah, really lucky there. I've managed to hold on to him and have him in the first place. But yeah, he's going to be a staple in my 17. I think he has to play in halves moving forward now. I was kind of hoping he'd play lock today, given the wet weather, but obviously he absolutely crushed it anyway. So no complaints there. But yeah, even like short-term injuries at the back end of the season, I'll have Galvin, Humphreys, and Drinkwater to like cover those injuries, which is fine. Drinkwater I don't love anymore because he lost the goal kicking today as well, even on the right-hand side, which is just no idea what's going on there. He lost it from the left but had it on the right. Then last week or the week before, he had them all for the last couple of weeks, and then now he's lost them all to Zach Labert. So I think he's lost them moving forward. He didn't kick in play really, apart from like 30 metres. So yeah, a bit concerning, but he'll be essentially like my 20th man apart from next week where I have to play him. But I'm not really affected by buys moving forward either. I think it's like the Sharks, Rabbitohs, I know have a buy as well, I think, but I only have Humphreys now. Can't remember, but I think there's like 2 weeks I don't have any buys, and then the other weeks I only have 1 missing. I think Cowboys have 1 as well in the last round. So yeah, should be able to navigate it pretty well unless we get bulk injuries, and yeah, we'll see what happens there. But I'll just refresh that to make sure I'm still that rank. Yeah, 365th. So in a really good spot overall rank-wise, but just not the best situation, I guess, with my trades. But yeah, absolutely crushed the median score. I was about 80 above all week. It was sort of going to be dependent on how Terrell May did, and he didn't do too well. Yeah, pumped it by about 75 or so in the end, which was good, even with Drinkwater and Galvin. And Galvin's like not owned at all. So if he got a 50, then probably would have beat it by like 100, sorry. So yeah, no complaints, but really good round. There was a few teams on 0 trades already, and a lot with 2. And yeah, if you have 2 now, knowing you have to trade Herbie, you are struggling a little bit, I'd say, moving forward. So there will be teams I overlap just based on the trade factor, but there's also a ton of teams in a way better position, just trade-wise. I don't know, team construction-wise. Cleary, I was surprised he was actually the most captain this week. I mean, Trome was good last week, so I thought maybe that ownership would bounce back a little bit. I think it was down to like 50% last week as well. Obviously, Cleary outscored him last week as well. Don't know what I'll do moving forward. Probably back to May, I guess, just because he's just so consistent and he has the minutes. Yeah, Katoa, the most traded in, no surprises there. A lot of them were just straight for Hughes. Then Grant, Wishart was pretty popular. He didn't do too much, but he looked okay. His tackle count was good. Didn't get a lot of kick meters or run meters, I don't think. 10% traded in Yo, so that's unlucky. Galvin's actually 6.5% traded in, and yeah, people still hopping on the Papali train, I guess. Fichetti, did he even play this week? I think he dropped out entirely. He was on the bench, I believe, and then just did not play, or did he play? He played for 17 points, so yeah, good trade out there. He was awesome for whoever had him. Then Latu Fainu, I think he got a 4, so well done to you again. And then Tallis Duncan still in the centres. Not sure what's going on, but he'll be a pretty juicy price for next year, I think. He's averaging like 41 now, so yeah, I'll probably start with him next year at this stage. Then Garrick, 99.4% traded out as well, and he also shut the bed. So yeah, a lot of people, the guys they traded out weren't injured, but they all scored badly. So it was a pretty good week for that. AFB, I don't know how people are trading him unless you're one of these guys. Yeah, that's about it from my recap for the for my team. I've pretty much gone into full depth there. Just the 2 trades for me next week, and hopefully can keep pushing, but we'll see. I think I was very lucky this week. I'll get into the 2 games recap. So Tigers, Doggies, both these games were wet as hell, but Adam Dewey showed pretty much. He did everything. I don't think updates are in for this one yet, but they'll probably come in any minute. So usually this happens as I'm going over them. But yeah, Adam Dewey, unbelievable. Had that 85-metre runaway try and also like a 40-metre runaway try assist as well, which was definitely a forward pass, but I'll take it. Yeah, I think he had 4 runs in by the 70th minute for 149 metres. So just crazy stuff. Super lucky to get a few of those balls off the ground and stuff like that, but he was really good. And yeah, he's in contract talks at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see how much he gets if the Tigers keep him now. But I think the Dragons are making a push, so that price has probably gone up 100K or so over the last couple of weeks. But yeah, awesome stuff. Even with Jerome Luai in the team, he still kicked for 530 metres. He does have the bigger boot, and it was wet weather, and they were trying to target some early kicks in this one. So I don't know if it's going to be that good moving forward. He didn't kick it all last week at lock, I don't think. I think it was like 1 or 2 kicks. But after the game, he moved into the halves, I think, with like 20 minutes to go. I wasn't watching all these games, but that's what I think I saw. And after the game, Benji said he wanted Dewey to kick more. He did say Latu would be the halfback still for this round, but that didn't eventuate. Maybe with the wet weather, I'm not sure. But yeah, I knew his kick meters were going to be strong. Didn't think they're strong, but I mean, it's a really good sign moving forward if he is taking 90+% of the kick meters. I think in that case, he probably is still a potential trade-in if you want a sort of pod option. But trading Herbie, you can probably get anyone on the board. So if there's any premiums you don't have, I'd probably still go for them over Dewey. But it's been awesome as an owner. I'm spewing I still missed his 84, where I played Latu for like 20 over him. But yeah, he's been really, really good to me and all the owners who picked him up around that last buy round. I think it was round 18 or so. Just really good stuff. Samuel Fainu, he was another one I was sort of considering instead of Galvin, but just mainly because it was wet weather and I thought he'd do better. I've sort of talked about him for a while now. Like around the bye period, he was a little bit of an enabler instead of Tallis Duncan, but he's been up and down, and at the end of the day, I wanted Galvin moving forward. So he was good, got a try, did pretty much everything. Not many run meters, but tackle count solid. Terrell May with a 50. So yeah, 67 minutes is good. It just wasn't his day with the weather. Like, he's not going to get many tackle breaks, offloads. Tackle breaks are very hit or miss in the wet weather because, yeah, you can bounce off some tackles, but you're not getting as many runs. The ball's not in play as much with all the errors. So he can go both ways, especially for such a big bloke, but just wasn't his day today. Nothing concerning, but it's, yeah, whether you want to captain him moving forward is up to you. I think I probably will now just because he's going to be a bit of a pod captain if he's only going to be 25, 30, 35% owned. Captain, sorry. And I think he probably still has the highest ceiling, but we'll see. It probably won't be too much of a swing either way, but yeah, that's where I'm leaning at the moment. Who else in this game? Taylor May, another one I was considering instead of Galvin, but yeah, not in this weather and only got a 20. He was fine. Like, he's been awesome the last couple of weeks. He got a 60-something in his first game, but he did everything. Like, they were going to him so much. Got a try assist, maybe a couple of line breaks and stuff like that, and still only got a 60. So, like, a 60 is awesome for a centre, right? But he had to do a lot to get there, and I just don't think it's sustainable moving forward. And a 20, yeah, it's fine in this weather, but he's going to have those games regardless of the weather. Luai, pretty much non-existent in this one, apart from trying to rattle, what's his name, Galvin. Yeah, it was just the Adam Dewey show all round. Over to the Bulldogs side, and yeah, they're terrible in wet weather. I think they've lost all 3 games by significant points, but Preston was good, at least for us owners. I think he's like 50% owned. Got a 65. He was on 47 at halftime, and 18 in the second half is fine for what it was. Yeah, just did a bit of everything. Got that barge over try for about 20 points, and that really sealed his fate for a good score. Kiraz moved to fullback, and I think that's going to be the case until Connor Tracy's back. He looked fine. Like, he's still trying to offload. The run meters will be there. Even Connor Tracy had like 300 last week, so he'll still get the run meters. He's not one to like pass it off like Scott Drinkwater, like pass it off to the wingers when you get it. So Yeah, no concerns. Like his tries will probably go down a little bit, but he's not a notorious try scorer anyway. Like he gets them through tackle breaks, offloads, and that will come with run meters. And if he's still getting them, then he should be fine. So not concerned at all. No one else really. Harry Hayes, not too many owned these days. He was decent around the bye period. Burton with a 30. He was on negatives for like the first half. I think he was on -1 at halftime, then had a pretty decent run to get an okay score. Big kicker with a 26. Yeah, his worst score probably all year. Like he's been really good. He was always a borderline keeper just because he has the history of not being a keeper, but he has been really good this year. Marnie is just not getting the minutes. Yeah, it'll be interesting how many minutes. Is Robson gone from the Cowboys? I'm not sure, but if he gets 80 next year, he probably will be a juicy price to start, so that'll be one to watch. Then Galvin, 22. Yeah, like he's young. He doesn't look like he's built for too much pressure. Like I know he had that try assist on the line, like on the siren a couple of weeks back to win it for them, but he sort of folded in this one. Just did not do anything. They were booing him every time he touched the ball. Like it's a tough situation for a young player, young individual, I guess. Yeah, he was not good today at all. 15 tackles was fine, even though they were trying to target him a lot. Just was shy to kick the ball. Like it was wet weather, so you're going to go to Matt Burton more for his bombs and stuff, and they were pretty decent. They didn't really get the results, but they were okay. So yeah, it's not his game. Ran the ball in half decent amount. I don't know. He'll be better moving forward, I hope, because I brought him in for probably a wasted trade, but we'll see. Not much else to talk about in that one. I'll leave this tab open in case updates come in the next 5 minutes or so. Over to the Sharks, Cowboys, and yeah, another very wet weather one, and the Cowboys were atrocious. It was like 26-0 at halftime. Cowboys showed some life in the second half, but yeah, it was not great. And then the Sharks were just in cruise control after that. It wasn't going to be a Panthers-Titans situation where Titans came back and Cowboys were ever a chance for coming back, but they did show a little bit of life, I guess, but they were just terrible. And the season's over. All these boys are pretty high owned, apart from Ronaldo, obviously, but four of the top five, top ownerships for this game. So, yeah, it was not fun watching as a non-owner of any of these guys. McInnes took the cake with a 64, got that try. The minutes aren't there still. Yeah, like if you had them, I wouldn't sell because it's such a luxury at this stage, but really good score. Just you'd want to see more minutes moving forward, and they've been all over the park lately. Blake Brayley with a 59, 2 try assists, 48 tackles in that sort of game is really good considering they dominated possession. I think Cowboys had like 55, 60% in the second half, so that boosted him a little bit. But yeah, just really good. Run meter's a little bit down from what we've seen lately, but still well above his career average. Yeah, just the 2 try assists as well. So really good stuff from him. AFB, another one who got a try. So all these guys had all the attacking stats in the world. Apart from that, he was fine. Like 45 in base is pretty good in that game again. 4 tackle breaks, I think 2 were from the try. And a couple of missed tackles. Really good. Minutes are very decent. Anywhere close to 55, 60, he's going to score about a point in it. So, yeah, really good there. Nico Hines with a 53. I think he was on like 40 at halftime or close to. So, a little bit of a disappointing second half, but the Cowboys did dominate possession a little bit. So, the kick meter is really strong. That's a really good sign. Usually the Sharks just kick whichever side they are on fifth tackle. So if they're on the left-hand side, Trindle will kick it. If they're on the right, Hines will kick it. That wasn't the case today, which is good. Hines was getting them wherever they were. And yeah, like it's still like a 70-30 split or something like that. But it's really good that he's taking more kicks and getting the fair share of the kick meters. So that will be good for him moving forward. Got 6 goals and a try assist as well, which helped. 53 isn't great, given he did all that, but in wet weather again, I'll repeat myself 1,000 times, but yeah, it's a great score from a back in that game, considering we saw what Galvin did with the 22. Nikora, I think there were a few people talking about him. From what I saw, 35, not great. It's about what he's been doing all season. A little bit worse, but he's been good like the last month or so, I believe, but yeah, he's just not there this year, it doesn't look like. And then Teague Wilton, he's fallen off a cliff as well. Over to the Cow side, yeah, not much to talk about. Griffin Neem was really good in real life, but not owned at all. Braden Burns, like, where has this come from? I swear he's getting like a 50 every game. The tackle breaks are huge. Don't know, I thought he used to be shit, but he's really good. And then look at these boys, 57, 53 tackles. It was just that sort of game. Yeah, no one else is really heavily owned. I had a little bit of interest in Cotter when he was playing like edge. I think he played edge in this one as well because Nanai moved to centre. Like, what's with all these teams moving their edges to centre? I have no idea what's going on, but yeah, not much interest anymore. Drinkwater with a 24, not great. I think he loses his try save as well. It was almost a missed tackle and it wasn't a try save either way, so I would fully expect him to lose that. I think he gains a tackle break from what I saw, but yeah, I pray that he keeps that try save because it's a terrible score. But he was on about 10 with 10 to go and then got an offload, try assist, a little bit of stuff. But yeah, no kick meters in this one, not great, and lost the goal kicking. So yeah, I'd be really cautious about considering him as a keeper moving forward. I honestly rate him lower than Galvin and Humphreys in my team, so he's like my 20th man now based on that. The Cowboys are done. Like, maybe we see a little bit more attacking flair from them given their season's over. Like, teams can let loose a little bit more. I hope so, but he was non-existent in this one until like 5 minutes to go where he took a few runs and stuff and it's like, you're down by 20, mate. What are you doing? But that's all from me. Yeah, first video back. Hopefully you guys see this. I'm not sure how the algorithm works after I posted every day and now haven't posted in 2 weeks, but we'll see. Anyway, hopefully you guys did well this round. Let us know how you did and we'll see what updates come and hopefully I can hold that rank. Until next time, we'll see you then. Bye.